Ever said yes when you should have said no, just to avoid having that tough conversation? If that's you, stick with me. I'm Sarah. This is Leadership Diaries, where we talk about the real side of leading people, not just the textbook stuff. I will give you a framework that you can follow, and then next time you have that conversation and you need to say no, it should help you have that constructive discussion and you will come away feeling so much better. I've been in HR for 20 years now. I've led people, I've supported leaders, so I know what it's like. Advising and guiding is one thing, but doing it yourself is totally different. So I've been there. I know what it's like to have that pressure of just saying yes when people are like, do you want to do this project? Can you take on this? It can be really hard to say no. So, a story of my own. I once agreed to take on a project that my boss at the time asked me to do, and it would have it impacted my team as well. It was a project I was saying yes to for not only me, but my whole team. Deep down, I knew it didn't align with my team's capacity, but I didn't want to appear difficult and I didn't want to appear unhelpful. I was quite new into actually being a leader, so I said yes. So a few weeks later, you can imagine team's capacity is getting tight, people are starting to feel worn out, deadlines start to slip, and the quality wasn't where it needed to be, and other things were getting impacted as well. So that one thing of me saying yes actually had quite a knock-on effect to everybody involved. The truth is, that wasn't on them. That was totally me. I should have set the boundary when I had the chance. What have I learned since then? Well, saying no isn't harsh. It's actually responsible because you're protecting your time or your team's time, the priorities, and the quality of your work, which at the end of the day, you want to be able to keep that up. So every person's going to have a limit of their capacity. So try one of these two approaches next time you're asked to take something else on and you need to say no. Option one is a clear and respectful no. So that could look like, I really appreciate you thinking of me for this. I've looked at our current commitments and I can't take this on right now without compromising other priorities. I'd be happy to revisit it next quarter. This one is simple and firm. It respects your time and their time. So option two is more of like a collaborative reprioritization option. That can look a bit like, I'd like to help, but to take this on, we'd need to review current priorities and agree what could move to make room for this. Can we look at that together? So what you're doing there is you're showing respect, you're showing clarity, no defensiveness, no excuses, just calm leadership. It's also really useful sometimes just to reflect as well on why you do say yes. What is it that's driving that? I tend to think of the real formula. That's something I work by. So R is reflect. And that is, what is driving you to say yes? Is it fear, pressure, or collaboration? E is for explain, and that's just be honest and clear about the situation and the priorities, which is what we went through. A is for ask. So that's looking for, is there any other solution you could come up with? So that could include things like, would it help to revisit it next month? Or as we said in that previous example, can we look at this together? Just asking those curious questions. And then L is for lead. So lead forward with purpose, clarity, and an action that's clear for both you and the person that you're talking to. Then you end positively and confidently with your next steps. That's how you set a boundary without burning any bridges. You've reflected on your capacity, you've explained the facts, you've asked for their view, and led the way to a solution. That's what calm, confident leadership looks like. Every workplace is going to be different. I'm giving you just my perspective on having been in leadership and working with a lot of leaders. So, this isn't legal advice, it's just giving you my perspective on how you can have those tougher conversations constructively, where you can come away feeling a lot less kind of stressed about having these discussions, because I know what it's like. It can feel really stressful sometimes, and a lot of pressure can be on people to say yes. As I've demonstrated, you can still say no and maintain that level of respect and trust. And actually, other people will respect that if they can see that you've clearly come to a conclusion and you've thought about it, and it actually does work very well then for the future, because they know that you've given it very, very careful consideration. So if you found this helpful, hit subscribe, hit like. I will continue to keep adding more and more examples and stories of those real leadership scenarios. As I said earlier, not just the textbook stuff.